Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I'm your teacher Cindy Namer and today I'm here again with a new lecture. As you know dear students that many of students like you, they're not probably in a position to come to the school because of this COVID-19 pandemic situation which has caused many illnesses and have made us do physical distancing. So many of the educational institutions everywhere in the world are shutting down their campuses and they are moving towards online classes. So the system isn't a new one for you because we have gone through with the system from previous May to August. So let's start today's lecture. This is my lecture number 20 and today we have a geography class for grade 3. From your second term syllabus, I've chosen one unit, that is unit number 3, the natural resources, which is water. And today we are going through with the past papers and the mark scheme related to this chapter. So this is a question taken from past papers of 2017, and this is related to your topic, which is water, and they are actually asking about the Carré system here. The study figure 5, which shows a diagram of the Carré system of irrigation. Let me tell you something about the Carré system first. Carré is an indigenous method of irrigation in which groundwater is tapped by a tunnel. After running for some distance, the tunnel comes out in the open and the water is conducted to the command area. Carré is an old and stable irrigation system of Pakistan which is commonly used in the Balochistan areas only. Now you can see in this question some of the blanks are given, like this figure is not labeled, but what you have to do is just to label this diagram. Now this is, you can see, is for 3 marks. Here the total marks is 3, so you have given you have been given with these 5 options, and the total you can see there are 5 blanks. Okay, so the question here is choose 3 terms from the list below and use them to label the diagram in 3 of the spaces provided. Now you can see as you have 5 spaces here, but the need is to write any of the 3 right one, you will get 3 marks for this. So here you can see the diagram as you have maintenance shaft, aquifer, canal, tunnel, and this is water table. So this one, obviously this is canal. It looks like a canal, so this is a canal of water. Then this one is the aquifer. This one is the aquifer, and here this is the water table. You know that the water table is the level of the groundwater. So this is groundwater, this is water table here. This one is aquifer, this one is maintenance shaft. This is shaft that is made for the maintenance purposes, and this one is tunnel. This one is tunnel. So we will write tunnel here. Okay? So again, let me tell you again. This one is canal, the aquifer, the water table, and here it is the maintenance shaft and the water table. So this is the mark scheme for the given question, and here you can see any 3 of left to right, the canal, aquifer, water table, maintenance shaft, and tunnel. So as you can see here, this is the total marks here is 3 and 381 marks. So for every right answer you will get 1 mark. So here is part 2 and 3 of the same question, and this is give an example of a barrage in Pakistan and name the river it is on. So barrage, let me tell you about barrage. Barrage is same as dam, as it is also for the storage of water, but the main difference is this is that the dam is built for water storage in a reservoir which raises the level of water significantly, but a barrage is built for diverting water and raises the water level by only few feet. So mostly barrages are built in the plain areas. Here the question is, give an example of a barrage in Pakistan and name the river it is on. What you have to do, you have to give the name of the barrage and on which river it is built. You have to mention the same river. So you will get 2 marks. Then the second question is, state why barrages are needed in Pakistan. Why we need these barrage, and let me show you the mark scheme for these questions. So for the part two question, which is like name a barrage in Pakistan and write the name of the river on which it is built. So here you can see we have so many barrages in Pakistan: Marala, Khanki, Kadrabad, Jinnah, Chishma, Tonsa, Guddu, Sakkar, Kotri, Rasool, Tremo, Panchnad, Baloki, Sindhnai, Islam, Suleimanki, and Munda. And all these are built on different rivers, right? Marala, Khanki, Kadrabad are built on Chenab River. So if you want to take any of the barrage from Marala, you can write Marala and Chenab. So you will get 2 marks for this, because they are asking only for one barrage and the same river on which it is built. So Marala on Chenab, or you can say Khanki on Chenab, or you can say like Kadrabad on Chenab. You also can like Jinnah or Chashma or Tonsa, any one of them, like Sakkar Barrage or Guddu Barrage on Indus River. Then Rasool Barrage or Tremo Barrage, anyone on Jhelum River. That is the most easiest one, is the Panchnath. The Panchnath is the name of the barrage and also the name of the river. So Panchnath is the barrage which is built on the Panchnath River. Again, Baloki is built on the Ravi, Islam or Suleimanki are built on the Satluj, and Munda is built on the Swat River. So you can see like at the bottom of the page, like a note named dams not allowed. You are not asked here about the names of the dams, as I've told you about the difference between the dams and the barrages. So they are asking about the barrage, so you will get 1 mark each for for barrage, and 1 mark is for the name of the river, but the river should be mentioned on which the barrage is built. You can't write like Marala or and the Panchnath. No, this is the wrong answer. You have to write like Marala with Chenab only. You can write Panchnath with Panchnath only. You can write Rasool with Jhelum only. This is how you have to do this question, and you will get 2 marks for this question. So here's a mark scheme of part 3, which is state why the barrages are needed in Pakistan. And you can see the marks here are two for it. So as they are asking for the reasons why the barrages are needed in Pakistan, so you have to give only 2 reasons, any of the 2 reasons. If you want, you can write 3, but actually the need is 2 reasons here. Now you have this is the mark scheme. You have different reasons here. You have to write at least 2 reasons. The first one is irrigation. Irrigation, you have the irrigation or the release water for irrigation. So why we need barrages? For irrigation. Irrigation is the artificial supply of water, and release water for irrigation. So we can store the water, and later we can release this water for the irrigation purposes. Then the second one is provide water supply to perennial canals or link canals. Now you know this is again the irrigation system, perennial canals, and perennial canals are always linked with the reservoirs, with the dams, with the barrages. So they can get water throughout the year. So this is again, or link canals like the canals that are linked with two of the water bodies to shift the water from one river to another, or to shift the water of the river to any kind of water body. So we can provide water supply to the perennial canals and to the link canals. Another reason then is flood control. Like especially in Pakistan, especially in the summers, we have so many floods because of monsoon rainfall, which is totally unreliable and sometimes destructive, and because of the fast melting of ice sheets and glaciers. And Pakistan is rich with so many glaciers and ice sheets. So because of these conditions, we have a lot of floods in the monsoon seasons in summer. Now to control the power of the flood or to reduce the risk of the flood, we can store many of the water, much of the water in the barrages. Then is flow of water control. Again, the flood water, we can reduce the speed of the water of the floods and also of the rivers. We can reduce the flow of this water through storage in the barrages. Then is to stimulate economic development, industry and settlement. Obviously, we need water for many of the development purposes, for many industrial uses and for settlement. So these are some of the reasons. You can take any of two reasons to get 2 marks. So this is another question of the same topic from the same paper of 2017, and here a study figure 6 which shows water used by sector in Pakistan in 2008. So here you can see this is the key given, like here the water used for irrigation and livestock, the water that is used for industrial purposes and domestic use. So the darker one is domestic use, which is like the least use of Pakistan, and the lighter one is the irrigation and the livestock, which is like you can see the most use of Pakistan. The white one is industrial use. Here the question is, which sector used least water? Obviously, that is domestic. You can see the least one is the domestic sector. Then is how much water was used by the irrigation or livestock sector. Now, what you have to do, you have to make calculation here. How? Let me tell you later. And then name a type of industry that uses large amounts of water. So name a type of industry. As you have many of the sorry, if we have the use of industry here, but they are particularly asking about a name of the particular industry that uses large amount of water. We have so many different industries that can use a large amount of water, like the pharmaceutical industries, like the beverage industries, like juices industries, like many other, so many other large industries. They are using water. So you can write any one of the name here, and you will get 1 mark. Then 2 marks for A and B. One, which sector used the least water? Obviously, domestic. 1 mark is for this one. How much water was used by the irrigation livestock sector? You can see the scale used here is like from 0 till 20. So this is obviously 10, then 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Here you can see this is like not the half of the, like it's we can say 93 or 94% maybe. ठीक है? So let's calculate this one. Let's see the mark scheme. So here's the mark scheme given for the same question. As the part A, question number 1, part A was which sector used the least amount of water, and I've told you from the key you can see that was domestic. Then for B, as I showed the calculation, how you are going to calculate any of the graph, and I've told you that it must be like from 93 to 94%. Here the answer is 94%, and you are allowed to write from 93 to 94.5, but it should not be 95% because you can clearly see in the figure that this is like till 94 you can see. Okay, so you will get 2 marks for the question number 1. For the question number 2, like they asked you for only one industry that use like most of the water. There are so many industries like beverages, soft drinks, juice industries, dyeing, tanning, printing, iron, steel, nuclear, textiles, chemical, pharmaceutical, hydel, which is hydroelectric power plant, and paper industry, tourism, leisure, inland farm, fish farm. So you have to write out of these much of the answers. You have to choose only one answer for 1 mark. Part 3 is about 60% of irrigation water is lost before it reaches crops. Give 3 reasons why irrigation water is lost in this way. So the question is for 3 marks, and three spaces are given for 3 reasons. Like they are asking only for 3 reasons, and there are so many reasons you can choose to write only three. And about 60% of the irrigation water is lost before it reaches to crops. The irrigation, I've told you, this is artificial supply of water through many ways. Like we can tap out the groundwater, we can divert the river channels by making canals. Now, about 60% of irrigation water is lost before it reaches crop, because most of the way of irrigation used in this way is canal irrigation. When we are using canal irrigation, so 60% of that water is lost during its way. What are the reasons? We have to give 3 reasons. Let me show you the mark scheme. So here are different reasons that you can write for the loss of the watering during irrigation system. And other than these reasons, if you have some more reasons, like these are very common, very general, you can write. The first one here is seepage from beds of canals absorbed into the soil, land, so no canal lining. So if the canals are unlined, like if the canals are not cemented, obviously most of the water is seeped or absorbed in the will be absorbed in the ground. Then evaporation, evapotranspiration from surface of canals, tanks, flooded land. So evaporation, obviously with the extreme temperature, extremely high temperature, the water will be evaporated before it reaches to the crops. Then excessive runoff of water immediately into streams and rivers. Obviously, if the pressure of the water is high, that the run of the water will be towards the rivers and the streams. Theft of water, theft from the canals. Some of the people who have their subsistence farming, they can and they can use the way to take this water from others canals and to divert the canals channels towards their own farms. Then water drawn up by vegetation on a side of canal. Obviously, the canal which is running from the way, if there's if it is like built in an area which is sided by the vegetation, so some of the water is drawn by this vegetation. And mismanagement by the authorities. This is again the reason. And this is the last part of every question in your exams. This is D part, and D part is very, very important because you will get this type of question which is for 6 marks. So this is, we can say, the longest question, the longest part of each question. Read the following two views about water shortages in Pakistan. So in this type of question, you will always get two types of views for a problem, for a suggestion, for anything, for any topic. You will get two views, and you have to support one view, and you have to write about or refer some of the examples of both the views. Now it might be in a way like a kind of suggestion, a kind of statement that you are agreed or not. So here this is a view question, and this is view A and view B. View A is the best way to prevent water shortages in Pakistan is to build more dams and other infrastructure projects. These will store or supply more water. The view B is the best way to prevent water shortages in Pakistan is to educate people about different methods of saving water. These methods could be carried out in agriculture, industry, and in homes. Now, both are the best views here, but you have to support one, and you have to write about both the views. Here, the question is, which view do you agree with more? Give reasons to support your answer and refer to examples you have studied. You should consider both views, view A and view B, in your answer. This is very important to consider both views. And in the end, in the conclusion, you have to give your support to A or B. Okay? So you have always you are always demanded to have to give like some of the examples, the one you are supporting or the one you are not supporting. You have to give examples why you are supporting this one and why you are not supporting the another one. Let me show you the mark scheme. Now, this is the mark scheme. There are different levels of marking for the examiner, and level one. In level one, you will get only 1 mark or 2 marks out of 6 marks. What is the level? Simple point addressing any view. Like if you are choosing any one view and you are just addressing this view, we should educate people how to save water for future or for sustainability. So this is like only you are addressing one view. You will get only 1 mark for this. Now simple points addressing any view, for 2 points, like simple points for the 1 point, you have only one simple point addressing any view. Then simple points, you are going through only for one view, like for educating people, you can say we should educate people through curriculum, we should educate from through media. Like you are giving different points, but you are supporting only one view. Now this is what you will get only 2 marks. Level 2. In level 2 you may get 3 marks or 4 marks. Level 2 is developed points explaining one view. In the level 1 you just say we should educate people. In level 2, like when you are developing your point, we should educate people through media, we should educate people through curriculum. Like you are developing your point, and when you are explaining views, you are developing points and you are explaining the views, both the views, you will get only 4 marks, but no evaluation. There should, when you are not going, you are not in a final way, in a conclusion, in a conclusive way, you have to support one view. For this, you will get maximum marks. Level 3 is develop points explaining both views. Develop points explaining both views. When you are explaining both the views, but you are developing your points also. Evaluation giving clear support to one view or a named example, you will give or you will take only 5 marks. And develop points explaining both views, evaluation giving clear support to one view and a named example, then you will be given 6 marks. Now here you can see the difference. Develop points explaining both views. In the sixth, develop points explaining both views. Same. Explain in for 5 marks. Evaluation giving clear support to one view or a named example, and evaluation giving clear support to one view and a named example. So there for 5 marks or a named example, whatever you have named in the example, you are supporting, you are giving your evaluation according to this. Now you have to give both the named example and then you have to give your evaluation. So for 6 marks, what you have to do, you have to address on both the views, you have to develop your points on both the views, you have to give the benefits of which you are supporting, and you have to give the drawbacks which you are not supporting and why you are not supporting. And you should also mention some of the examples, then you will get the maximum 6 marks. For example, here are some points, some bullet points that you can add in your answer, but your answer should not be in the bullet points. You have to create your answer in a para form, in a long para form, because the content is for 6 marks here. So answers are likely to refer to for infrastructure, as the UA was about infrastructure. So prevent loss of water downstreams into sea. It collects rainfall, snow melt. It collects like reservoirs, feed perennial canals, can store large amount of water. So we said in the UA like there should be more dams. For infrastructure, we give all the benefits of this infrastructure or more dams. Now some of the against infrastructure, why we are not supporting: source of conflict between countries and provinces, social issues, loss of fresh water at Indus Delta, water intrusion into Sindh, high initial investment, little use in Balochistan where rivers dry up, mismanagement by provincial national government, and siltation occurs. Now, these are some of the points that are against the infrastructure. Now, for the view B, we have to give some of the points that are supporting, like for water saving, like planting trees, lining canals, careful monitoring, regulation of amount of water used, and better forms of water storage in homes, water meters in home industries. And what if we are supporting the first one in evaluation? Obviously, we have to give some of the negative point also. So the negative points of view B is like long time scale required to educate sufficient number of people, resistance to education, water, valuable raw material in industry, and growing population with increasing demand for water, drinking water, and development goal to increase availability of water. All these points you can add, like all the good points and the drawbacks of each of the view, and then you can, like, all these are the type of examples you are giving. When you, like, a little use in Balochistan, now you are particularly giving the example of the Balochistan, and you are developing your answer when you are elaborating this point. Siltation occurs. How siltation occur? Why siltation occur? So siltation occur, which can, like, reduce the amount of storage in the water dams, and which can reduce the power of the generation of electricity. So these are some of the points you can add in a form of paragraph in your question. You will get maximum marks, and then evaluation is very must. Evaluation is like you are giving benefits and drawbacks of all the or both the views, but in the evaluation you have to support one view and you have to say why you are supporting this one against the other one. Thank you so much, dear students, for watching this video. I hope this video must be very informative for you, especially for those who are new to camera system. So I hope you will learn a lot from this video. If still you have any confusion, any type of query you have, you can drop down the queries in the comment box. I'll definitely entertain all of the queries, and we'll meet up again, inshallah, with another video. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.